Hello, everyone. Good morning to all of those that I've been greeting. Good morning to all of you who are coming into the room. Good morning to all of those who will just see the replay. I hope that everyone can see me and hear me properly. So if that's the case, just let me know, just to be sure, that we're starting the week on a good note. Anyway, welcome to everyone, every one of you. Another week of Dharma. This week we have, okay, Clive, thanks. Everyone seeing. This week we have Nirmala Werner is coming back to teach with us. Hopefully she will do that again in the near future. And we're going to explore the art of embodied listening. You see, you saw the little quote from Rumi, there's a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. So let's listen. Okay, so Nirmala has been practicing meditation, Vipassana meditation, since 2002. She finished her degree in social work in the Netherlands, where she worked with homeless and drug-addicted people. Her wish to support disadvantaged people and her desire for spiritual practice led her to India and Sri Lanka, where she spent several years working with marginalized women and children, as well as getting involved in Theravada teachings and spending a long amount of time in retreats. She's trained in transpersonal body-focused psychotherapy and combines embodied mindfulness, meditation, and contemplative practices. She is authorized as the Dharma teacher by Christopher Titmuss and has been leading a school of embodied yoga and meditation since 2008. Nirmala lives with her partner and 3 children in an eco village in the north of Germany. And I will leave you her website by the end of the session. Okay, so Philip, if say you have no sound, see if you can just pump up the volume on your computer, because I think the sound is good. It's good on my end. I think it's good on everyone else's, or just refresh. Might be just that. Couple of things. You know that you can ask your questions after the session. This is an hour session. We'll have a bit of a talk, then practice, and then Q&A by the end. And this is also good if you are new into this Sangha. We have a new streaming platform, so there's a few differences. You see the chat. The chat is where everything goes. All the comments, all the greetings, and all the questions. I will ask you, please, at the end, when you have questions to ask, if you want to write the question, please write in capital letters question, so that Nirmala knows that that's a question. You can also put your comments, but if you really want to have a question, so we can just, keep a track on that. And you can also come on screen. At the bottom of the screen, there's a little hand. You can just click on that hand, and I will bring you on screen, and you can interact with Nirmala directly. Okay, last thing is dana. You know that this is a hard work. It's a heart-based economy, like Martin says, and we rely solely on your generosity and your dana. So if you feel inclined to do that, and your heart and your pocket can go along in the same stream, please feel free. I've put the dana link on the beginning of the session, and I will put it back at the end. So that is all for me, and it's quite long already. So please enjoy your session, and I'm going to take myself off and leave the stage to Nirmala. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm happy to be back here. I also like to have a little message if you can hear me and see me well. If you could put that in the chat, that would be helpful for me. Yes. Thank you. So this week, I like to explore the field of listening with you together. And it's a wide field. It's not just about listening to sounds, listening to spaciousness, to presence, to the unformed. It's about listening to ourselves inside, as if our ears would like be turned inside. And listening to others, this is what I really would love to emphasize this week, that we look into all these aspects and listening to the world and the needs out there. So I'd like you to take a moment to listen to all those people here attending this session. It's 97 people now. We don't have little screens where we can see each other. And still really like, before we dive in, and it's already a diving in, like opening your senses, opening the body field of listening, like listening with your whole body as you're reaching out to all others here. Just really feeling we are in this together. So listening, I believe, can be a really transformative and healing practice, can be so transformative and healing if we really listen. And it might sound easy for some of you to do that, and as if we are doing that all the time, but in fact, there is a whole lot more to explore there. It can go really deep and can be very profound. I remember one time where I was attending a meditation session with my teacher, and at the end there is a sharing Q&A time, and I was sharing like how I felt, and I wasn't in a good state. I didn't get it all together. And she suggested that I would make an appointment with somebody from the Sangha for 2 days later, that this person would take time to listen to me. And this is some time ago, I thought, listen to me, I need help, I need support, I need advice, I need therapy, whatever, but listening. And then I made that appointment. This person actually was in New York City, I hear in Germany. And she just listened to me 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, with so much presence, with so much being rooted, being connected to the earth, giving so much space and compassion and allowing my stuff to be as it was showing up, as life was flowing through at this moment. It was just gone for me after 10 to 15 minutes, the issue I had. And I'm not saying it's every time like that, but I have made this experience several times, just through having somebody there to truly listen, to truly be present, truly allow the other person to be like he or she is, can be very healing. And it's more easy when we are in a good mood, when we are happy, joyful. What about being in one of those storms in our life? I think many of us have experienced severe changes in our life. I'm talking about these life-changing changes. Maybe through a diagnosis, maybe through a phone call, the loss of somebody, a sudden death. How able are we then to pause and listen in those storms? How able are we to feel our feet on the ground and to listen what's going on? Thomas Merton, he says, true prayer and love are learned in the moment, when prayer becomes impossible and the heart has turned into stone. So the practice we meet here together for is a practice of listening. It's a practice of wisdom, of compassion, of understanding, which needs our pure listening. It's a practice which provides us with a peace which is beyond the changing conditions. But are we really ready to listen to the Dharma? I wonder. I mean, we hear these words, and actually, I really invite you to listen with your whole body, because what happens when we're listening, that we don't realize our reactions, our judgments, our blaming, all what is going on all the time, and just being aware of it, really making an intention. Okay, and I use this time, and I use this week, and every morning, this hour now for listening. I just want really to invest in it, get interested. What is it? What is happening to me? Listening to the words, having somebody to ask me, are you ready to listen to the Dharma? Are we ready to empty us and come to a point where we don't follow our dramas, indulge in our habits and our addictions, in endless thinking, in blaming and defending? Are we willing to pause and to listen to the question, what's really going on here? Listen to the receptivity of body, mind, heart, being receptive to universal laws. How honestly do we really want to take it? Are we ready to listen to the law of anicca, of coming and going of things, impermanence, of what this really is, the body, the mind, the heart? Are we willing to let in the fact that there is dukkha in life, that there is unsatisfactory? Can we truly stand in it, truly listen to the silence in the storm, so that we are not just going somewhere else? Can you do it now? Can you do it today? And what listening does need is a true coming home into our bodies. Listening is happening with much more than just our ears. We really need to stay present if we want to come into a true listening. This moment, this breath. I like to read you a quote from Rumi. It's called Silver Coins. Put your cheek against this drunken cheek. Forget anger and men planning war. When I hold out silver coins, take them and give me a cup of liquid full of gold light. You can open the wide door of the sky. Surely you will open me. All I have is this emptiness. Give it a nickname. Breaker and healer. Break and heal this head. There is that in me that has to be told 50 times a day. Stop hunting. Step on this net. Stop hunting. Step on this net. It's amazing that we meet for this here together. Stop hunting and step on this net. All I have is this emptiness. Okay, let's start now with the listening. If we don't start now, nobody will do it later for us. So it's time for our meditation. I invite you to get really comfortable. You could lay down, or maybe you like to sit, to stand, or even walk. If you have the sense that your nervous system is quite agitated, then maybe you like to keep your eyes open, look out of the window. So take your time to get comfortable. And allow yourself to sink into silence. Maybe you want to sigh a few times with long exhalations. Maybe you like to invite a few sounds with your first exhalations to just let go. Let go of everything you have heard this morning already, you have spoken. Just sink into this moment, into this silence. And can you allow to let things be as they are? As if there were nothing wrong with this moment. Allowing things to be as they are for now. Maybe allowing the exhalation to be even a bit more long. So the exhalation can help your body to drop down a bit more towards the earth. And allowing the waterfall of awareness to enter the space behind your ears and your eyes. Allowing the breath to just flow freely without controlling anything. And soften the space behind your ears, behind your eyes. And being aware of the sensations here. Being aware of the sensations in your head, of the aliveness in your face. really sinking, washing through with your awareness through this whole space of the head, listening to the sensations here, to the streams of energy, to the aliveness. And then letting the waterfall of awareness enter the space of your shoulders, filling your shoulders from inside out with presence, with awareness, with listening. Feeling the space within your shoulders and the aliveness there. Maybe heat, maybe tickling sensations, or warm, vibrating energy. Allowing awareness to enter the whole shoulder space. Listening to the space within your shoulders. And then bringing the waterfall of awareness inside your elbows, allowing awareness to wash through the space inside your elbows. And really listening here. How does that feel? What's going on here? And allowing whatever arises to be there. If your thoughts are carrying you away, just coming back into the space of your elbows. Maybe you want to soften that space a little bit more. Maybe as you soften, you can feel the sensations, the energy in your elbows even more. And then entering the loving, kind awareness, the space of your hands, your fingers, And listening to that space inside your hands, maybe softening your hands a bit more. Really tuning in, really being there in the space of your hands. And then allowing kind and gentle awareness to enter the space of the heart, the space between the heart and the lungs. Listening to the moving energy here, to the moving of aliveness. How does this area just feel at this moment? Maybe there is density, tightness. Maybe it's warm, juicy, numb, open, hot. Letting your awareness to fill the heart area. Allowing awareness to fill the whole of the heart area. Moving sensations appearing and disappearing. Moving energy. Allowing the waterfall of awareness to wash through your belly, through the space between your diaphragm and the pelvic floor. Landing there, kind and gentle. Filling this whole space of your belly with awareness from inside out. Listen to this space. Listen to the moving energy here. The appearing and disappearing of sensations. The waterfall of awareness, of kind and gentle awareness, can enter the whole pelvic cave, the pelvic area, and spread out there. Fill and open this area with awareness. Being there with the aliveness, maybe with vibrant energies, maybe with numbness, allowing things to be as they are. While awareness is spreading out in the pelvic area, as you're listening to the space inside. Intimately feeling into that space. Listening, listening. And intimately filling the space of your legs with awareness, allowing the waterfall to rush through, enter the upper legs, listening into that space of your upper legs. Listening to the sensations, to the aliveness, to the energy. And listening to the space between the knee slice and the back of knee, and filling the space with awareness from inside out. And filling the space of your lower legs with kind and gentle awareness, feeling into the space here, allowing the space to show up just as it does, just as life does. Filling the space of your feet with friendly awareness, listening into the space of your feet. Being there, being fully there with the space, with the listening to the space. And feeling the contact of your whole body with the body of the earth. Feeling that you are part of the earth. Allowing your body to drop down into an infinite depth. And allow energy flow upwards from the earth into your body. Expanding into the space around the earth. Imagine the space which expands above and below. This infinite space beyond the earth, beyond the furthest star. And imagine the space that expands beyond, beside, below, above. Sensing into the vastness of space. Allowing that inner space and outer space become one. Being open to the changing movement of life. Here, now. Resting in open awareness. Vastness. space, vastness, thoughts dropping in, dropping out, sounds dropping in, dropping out, sensations appearing, disappearing, all in infinite space. And bringing this vastness into the area of your heart, being with the receptivity of your heart at this moment. Asking your heart, what do you wish for? What do you really long for? Maybe a wish or a blessing is entering the space of the heart in this infinite vastness. And allowing this vast and open heart energy of kindness and compassion to spread out into the world, to open, to widen, reach out. May all beings be held in kindness and compassion. May all beings be held in a kind and compassionate listening. May all beings be free of suffering. And may all beings be awake. Very gently sense into the room you're laying in, into the space you're laying in. Listening to the sounds which surround you. bringing your inner listening back to an outer listening, to the very real space around you, and to come back out of this meditation. And of course, you're so invited to just rest and sense more. If you come back here to the screen, go just slowly, go gently, listen. What does your body really need now? What does your body really need now? Maybe it's rolling your shoulders or rolling your neck. Maybe it's a bit of shaking, yawning, or just curious, open, spacious eyes. Look around in the room you're in. What supports you in bringing the inner space, or a bit of that inner space, in the outer space? What supports you to make a soft transfer from a formal meditation into your life today? Because we do forget. I'm sure it happens to some of us that the session will end and then we rush out. We have to do something. How can we do that with the quality of listening? And there's a slowing down, and maybe there's a deep breath, and maybe there's a hand on your heart. So this is a time for questions. And as I understood, you just type them in the chat and write big question. And it can be any question. It doesn't have to do with a session. It can be anything from your life, whatever's burning, maybe, if there is something. And sometimes we have the idea it needs to be like a strong, good question there. And what if you drop back, and that can really be like sensing the back of your body, leaning back there when I'm listening. What is there? What do I want to know more about? What do I want to reflect on or share? I think when we start listening, I talk a lot more about that tomorrow, about the listening to ourselves, which is basic before we can really listen to another person, which, as I said before, is easy when we're feeling lightness, friendliness towards the other person. But when we get to hear something that we don't want to hear, which is not supporting us, which is maybe a judgment about ourselves, somebody not just as we want this person to be. And how many of us will have this situation today, maybe, that we are going to listen to somebody who is not exactly saying that to us what we want to hear. So rather than jumping into our reactivity and our habits, our usual way of listening through advices, it's a really painful one, very common one. Listen, what is going on for yourself? What's going on here inside this body? It's the first way of listening. Okay, there are some questions now. When you say listening to your body in the practice, is this the same or different from saying paying attention to your body? For me, it's more embodied. Yeah, it's a good question, actually, from Philip. Thank you. So what we do a lot in meditation is to observe our breath, observe the sensations in the knee, rather than dropping down in the knee, really exploring the knee from inside. This is a listening. And it does something different to your body. And maybe that's not true for you. Maybe, just explore for yourself. Where does it feel juicy? Where does openness arise? Where is there a sense of something what you feel worth to be explored and experienced, which is supporting you? Go with that. If it's helpful to have your awareness there, your attention. This is an image which supports your words. Go with it and then try, okay, and what if I go into listening? What's happening to my skin? What's happening to my tissue? What's happening to my cells? Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Jane has a question. Asking for someone else who often feels unheard in the outer world and so is silent. How to deal with that? Oh, this is really sweet, Jane, that you're asking for somebody else. Asking for someone else who often feels unheard in the outer world and so is silent. How to deal with that? It's for me a bit difficult to... I'd like to hear more about that. And I think this person is not the only person out there actually feeling unheard, because there is so much talking going on, even though we have only one mouth and two ears. Like we talk so much more than listen. Yeah, I think, there could be I don't know what's going on for the person. That would be the first question, like to ask what's going on here. What do I really want? What do I really need? What is my longing? And listen to that and listen to, okay, and what do I need there because maybe there is loneliness, and when we can ask ourselves, okay, and what's going on here? What do I need? What does my heart need? What does my heart need? And and find this trail to your deepest longing. And there, life shows us an answer. And that's probably not going out there and talking a lot to a lot of people. It may be going for a walk every day and listening to the birds. Yeah, thank you. It's a bit difficult to respond to when I don't know what's going on, because becoming silent could mean a lot, right? Could mean to sink into depression, which happens to so many people at the moment, like really a lot of people suffering from different stuff, like a lot of suffering going on, people becoming silent. So we need to turn inward. And if this person is a friend of you, take time to listen. If it's 10 minutes, like this, doing these teachings this week, it really inspired me to offer my husband 15 minutes every day to listen. So we started with that a few days ago, and wow, it's hard. Sometimes I feel my reactions and my habit of giving advices and stuff, and just drop down and listen. So you could, if this is a friend of you, a person you're connected to, you could offer listening. And then there may be silence, there may be a lot of silence, and there may be a word from time to time. Just make that a practice. What is there and what else is there and what else? Yeah. Thank you, Jane. I hope that's in any way helpful. There's another question from Caroline. When there is an invitation to e.g., I don't know this English word, soften, allow, etc., I become more aware of myself controlling the situation, trying to make something happen, which seems counter to presence with what is. How to be with this? Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you, Caroline. I mean, that's so normal that this happens. And that's the art of listening. That's the art of embodied listening, of dropping down. There should happen something. And then, okay, listening to this thought coming in. Where does it coming? This could be a question you could go with, like to observe in the meditation. Okay, thought, where does it come in? Where does it leave again? Dropping down in the knee. Again, this thought, there should be happening something. Dropping down back in my belly. Feeling what's going on. Maybe it leads you to another place, like rather than when I'm offering to feel the space within your feet and the thought comes in, I should feel something, and you feel like the urge of going somewhere, doing something, which like it's so common for us, like we always think we are not quite right, it should be different, something about us should be different, then feeling the energy which is there at this very moment, rather than having to make it different in any way, just really go with that energy. Where do you feel it? Is there tightness in your throat? What if you listen to this tightness there, to the sensation of the tightness? What if you listen to the tightness in your shoulders, wherever it shows up? So that could be a practice for you. And yeah, you're doing great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, okay, this is what's happening. Margaret, you gave me a translation before. I remember. Thank you so much. It means, for example, e.g. So thank you for this last question also. I'm grateful you put questions here and you attended the session today. May you be a good listener to yourself today and to others. See you tomorrow.